everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm so happy to have you back. It's been a while, I've been away for some time, but I'm back and we are ready to rock this week. So let's talk today about different ways whereby we can own homes. For the new people, my name is Sheila. Welcome to Sheila's World, and if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. And as we know, home ownership, it's never an easy journey. You can't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to buy a house today. It's never easy. It's something that you need to plan for. You need to find how are you going to save for your home. As much as we think that home is not an investment, but at the end of the day, if we keep paying rent without thinking of owning the place, we'll end up homeless at the end of the day. Because home ownership falls under your long-term plans. It's not short-term. It's not something like I want to have a house in 1 year. And that's why you find mortgage plans, they tell you 20 to 25 years. Those are long-term plans. It's not something you can say you will put in your short-term plans. So when you're thinking of your long-term savings plans, think of products that will fetch higher interest rates so that when it comes to 15 years from now, 20 years from now, you have some lump sum amount which you can put down payment for your house, or even if it's enough, you can just buy the house in cash. So the housing market keeps exploding, and that's why when you have that chance of owning a home, it's the best way to build your equity, your shares, and it's a way of saving for long term. So and also just take advantage of government tax reliefs when it comes to mortgages. There are so many benefits when it comes to home ownership. So let's check out these routes that you can use in owning a home. And you know, as real estate keep modernizing in Kenya, and that's why owning a home is becoming more and more easier than before. So let's take advantage of these ways, these options which you can choose from. You need to just understand, also select options that will help you save money and time, and also just avoid getting into debts that you cannot pay. And also again, you can end up losing the property, and that's why you need to be careful with whatever you choose. So one of the options, you can buy an already built house. When you're buying a house, you have to consider the security in the area, convenience to a workplace. You don't need to buy a house somewhere where you take hours on the road. You've never seen your house during the day. You always get home very late at night because of the traffic, and you leave very early. So find a place where you think is convenient with your workplace, and also the security is good. I've seen friends who buy houses and they end up selling or even moving to rentals just because of insecurity. So those are the key factors that you should consider: convenience, accessibility, security. Those are the major things whenever you're thinking of buying an already built home. Then there's another option. You can also rent to own. Nowadays, organizations have come up, especially the housing societies, they've come up with a way whereby you can rent a house. Let's say you sign a long-term lease. You lease a property, let's say for 5 to 10 years. And within that period, you have that option of buying the property if you liked it. So there are two types of agreements involved in the rent to buy option. There's that lease purchase where you'll be legally obligated to purchase the house when your lease expires. And then there's the lease option purchasing, whereby you'll have the option to buy the property or not when the lease expires. So you can sign either one of these two leases. Then another option, which I think this one works well with men, building a house from scratch. If the one thing that I fear is to think of building. I've bought land, I've bought pieces. In fact, I've been thinking, how can I develop my pieces of land, maybe even just for rentals, houses that I can rent out. But when I think of that headache of now following contractors, being in charge when the house is being constructed is not easy. So I think this works well for men. Men are really good when it comes to building. So this one, you'll be required definitely to buy land and you build from scratch. You have architects, contractors on site, like you control everything. It turned out to be cheaper. I mean, you end up spending much cheaper than just buying a ready house. But again, you really need to be on the ground. And I know for ladies, we can really be conned. I've seen fundis. these contractors, they can really con, because they know with ladies we don't understand construction very easily. So I think these can work well, and I think it's even much cheaper. You save at least 30% if you buy land and build. So this method will ensure you construct the exact house you want. The good thing with building from scratch is that you're able to build a house to your taste, whatever you want. You decide the time frame that you want the construction to get finished, and also you can oversee the entire project from start to finish. So another option that this one I've also invested in, using the cooperative housing societies. This is one of the best for me. Even buying my plots, I've used the housing societies, since I don't have that time of following people, getting conned, especially in Kenya. When you buy land, you are never sure of what you are buying. You can easily get conned. So I find it easier to buy properties under the housing societies. I've bought plots under housing societies. We've done developments under housing societies, and you own a unit. You don't get involved directly. The only thing you do is you do the payments. They do the rest, everything for you. So I've been in one for many years, and I've managed to acquire a number of properties with them. And so the cooperative set will offer different types of house ownership, from loans, rent to buy, affordable housing, group loans, and also mortgage refinancing. So if you can join a housing society, if you don't have it at your workplace, with me I have it at my workplace, and it has really helped me in acquiring those pieces of land in different places without any stress. So if you're not in any housing society, please look out for one and join if you want to own a home someday. And then another option, and this I think, hit that subscribe button before we continue, and also give the video a like. Just hit that like button as we get on to our 5th route of owning a home: off-plan properties. This one, you end up buying houses at cheaper price, since you're buying at the planning stage, even before the development kicks off. So this method involves buying a house before or during the construction. So with the off-plan, I've seen it works well if you can get, I prefer government housing cooperative, let's say NHC in Kenya. It's one of the best places where you can buy houses off-plan, even though the houses are limited, they're not for everyone. If you are lucky to get one, I think off-plan properties is the best. You save a lot, because by the time that house is completed, you can sell it at double price what you paid at the initial stage. So you'll most likely require to pay a deposit and then spread the rest of the payment as construction is on. So the houses bought through this method are mostly in gated communities or apartments. So that's another thing, because as for me, I always feel safe in gated communities. So I don't think I can go and build a standalone house somewhere alone. I feel safe in a gated community, and that's where most off-plan homes are built. So another way of owning a home, and this one I just wish. I'm hoping, I'm working so hard so that my kids can have this inheritance. If I can have houses that my children can also inherit, and hoping it will not make them lazy. It will have conditions. As much as I leave them in inheritance, it will have conditions. They must work hard for their money as well. So this involves passing down property ownership from one person to another as a gift when the owner is alive, or as an asset when the owner has demised. So it depends. You can build real estate, enjoy the income from it, and then you write a will. When you die, because death is a must, when you die, your children can inherit and enjoy the wealth of their parents. And I think every parent should work hard to leave inheritance for their children. Even the Bible says so. So please, let's work so hard so that we can have more than what we have. It's something that we can leave our children with. If you've never inherited anything from your parent, I'm just praying that we will have something for our children. Let's break that generational curse and leave something for our children. Then finally, we have something called, for my fellow Kenyans, there's something called Boma yangu. I don't know if you've heard about it. There's Boma yangu housing program. This is a government-sponsored initiative that offers off-plan property purchasing option. And I said anything to do with government, always go for it. With government, it's hard to lose your money. So anything that is government-sponsored, I can always advise someone, if you find such an opportunity, rush. Take that, grab that opportunity immediately. So Boma Yangu Housing Program is a government-sponsored initiative that offers off-plan property purchasing options. Participants are chosen on first come, first served basis. So you can check Boma Yangu, Google that, and you'll find out more about it then. So for you to get started, you will pay contribution towards your 12.5% down payment. So you need still like a mortgage, you pay at least 12.5% down payment, and after which you'll be enrolled in a tenant purchase scheme when you receive a house. So you'll pay the remaining amount rent about 25 years. So the thing here, it's long term. So if you're young, if you've just started working and maybe in your organization you've had this such a plan, find out then get into that plan immediately. Don't even think twice, because I know usually it's affordable based on your salary. Yeah, the only problem is with government, if you're working for government, your salary is always, you find if you're paying for this, you'll end up not having enough money for food. So there's also a joint venture, another way of owning a home, whereby you partner with real estate developer to construct your home and then pay them rent over a specified number of years. So it can involve a developer building several housing units on your land and offering you some of the houses or profit generated from the property. So if you don't have money and you have a piece of land, you can get into joint venture, whereby a developer, a real estate developer, will construct your home and then pay them rent over a specified number of years. So it's like that house will belong to that developer for a specified time of number of years as you pay the cost of constructing that house. Then finally, the another easiest way to own a home is through mortgage. So this just involves borrowing money from banks or lenders like circles to buy or construct a house. So mortgage is just a home loan. The house you purchase will act as collateral as you repay the loan and interest accumulated. The interest can be fixed or variable per your agreement with the lender. So you'll be required to pay a down payment of the house, which is usually about 5%. I've seen most mortgages, they ask you for 10%, then they pay 90% of the property value. So with the promise to repay the rest in monthly installment for a specified number of years. So mortgage is another best way, especially if you get a place where the interest rates are lower. Yeah, I've seen organizations which offer 3%. I can have 10 houses if I was working for such companies. If only banks could just go down a bit, we could all be having mortgages. Because you see, houses, you don't need just your home. You can have more than one mortgage if you can afford, for the purpose of investment. Because at the end of the day, we need to have passive income in future. When we retired, besides our pension, we need to have rental income so that we retire, when you're financially stable. So let's hope banks will come down so that everyone else could afford mortgage. Mortgages are very expensive in our country. So I hope, we just pray things will change. So even though the house will appreciate, the increasing interest rate will have to pay above the market value. So it depends. If you get a good interest rate, go for it. Don't even think twice. So there are so many options available in the parts of home ownership. So pick one of those and let's all think of owning homes. That's what I have for today. I don't know what you think. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about home ownership. Are you thinking about owning a home? Are you already paying for one? Or do you think you're going to build? Whatever your option is, at the end of the day, there are several ways of catching a mouse. The goal is to own a home. I'll see you again in my next video. I hope this one will help you. And let's think about growing ourselves. I know at the end of the day, we don't want to retire poor. We want to have a home. Don't retire without a home. Currently, I'm thinking of having at least 3 homes by the time I'm getting into my 50s. So let's all work towards that. See you later. Give a video thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you again in my next video. Bye bye. God bless you.